Well, we're back. We're back with Hormonal Human. My name's Elisa Boy. This is my sister, Stephanie Boyd. Stephanie Jenkins.
Stephanie Jenkins, also formerly known as.
Stephanie Biceps.
May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace. We're back, and this week we decided that we're gonna do, like, remember when you were in school and you did the highlight. What did we call it? I just said it.
I wasn't listening. Current events. Yes.
Current event. And we're going to highlight, because I just started sending Steph things this week that I thought were interesting. And then we almost started talking about them yesterday at the birthday party at Flying Squirrel. And I was like, no. We got to wait. We got to save it. We got to save it. So we saved it for today. I don't know. Do you want to just dive in?
Yeah. Well, why don't you tell everybody what you found?
Well, the first thing, now it's like the algorithm knows what I'm talking about. It's listening for sure. The first thing I got was a woman, and we'll link these posts actually, talking about how we didn't even know this, but it wasn't until up to August of 2023. So like 6 months ago. I don't know what the math is. They only just started testing women's products, like period products, with actual period blood. Before that, it had all been with water. Not even blood, with water. So the ads, when they would pour like the blue Kool-Aid, that's what they were testing them with, which just blows my mind. Because I'm going to tell you, my period blood is not like water.
It is not thin like that.
No. And like the comments were, they were all just like, no, now I don't feel like a lunatic that, none of those things were super absorbent, or like using a pad and like nothing going into it. Who was at the top of those businesses saying this was a good idea?
No.
I don't know who. They had to employ like some women.
Boys who don't get periods and don't understand that period blood is not like water.
No. So I was shocked. I was shooketh.
Shooketh you to deatheth. I've always found that really interesting when they did the commercials and they used that blue liquid. And I mean, I get it. They're not going to like pour blood on a commercial because that's weird. But I guess in your like back mind, we kind of thought that
you would think
if in the labs, in the laboratories, that they were testing with actual, or like what would be a substance that would be more similar to blood than water?
The slime my children play with.
Ew.
Something she said, she was like, it's not like water. She's like, it's like Spider-Man, but like the dark Spider-Man, where it's like that sticky tacky.
Yes.
I was like, I don't know. I was appalled.
Or almost solidified Jello.
Mm.
And then, never mind. I was going to get really graphic there and really far in there, but you can use your imaginations of where I was going to go with that one.
And I'm like, tampons, like, would it perform differently? This is going to be, we're TMI. This is what's happening. When like, maybe we did talk about this last time, when it hurts when you use a tampon that's too strong. This is like, sometimes like half the tampon would be full. And you're like, what? Why didn't? Because in the ads, it blooms like a flower full of liquid.
Guess what? It doesn't.
It didn't.
It doesn't do that.
I'm curious what they're going to change, though. Like, they don't care. They clearly don't really care that much.
Well, because I don't think people really know. Nobody's calling them on their.
Maybe they're risks out to other alternative products, which I kind of doubt. But yeah, I wonder if they're actually going to change anything. So this is a developing story that we're going to stick on. No pun intended. But I think we'll follow up on this because I'm curious if any more news will come about it. I'm like, I also want to find out this Tampax, like, hey guys, just so you know, we're improving.
I feel like they have to, in some small print, have to put it somewhere. Because you in the States, you can sue for anything. Like, I feel like we could sue them.
You can get, you couldn't. Well, false claims, maybe.
False claims, like false advertising.
But I bet you there's fine print somewhere. I feel like
There
because
has to be.
they do so much with their products that are all lies, right? Like
Yeah,
saying like all natural when absolutely none of it's natural, but they can use the word. So
100%.
who knows?
Sneaky, sneaky.
So that was interesting to me.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, no, you sent me all the things this week.
I know. Start doing your research.
No, well, I did. I had sent you so many stuff, but I'm sending you more stuff about people I want to like maybe reach out to and interview. Yeah. Why don't we talk about the other product that you, because I've been
Again, I think the algorithm is listening to me. We will link this video. Essentially, this woman is on like a children's trampoline with like a very low, like I feel like a curmudgeon old lady sometimes. She's a very low cut sports bra tank toppy thing on. And it's not about what women look like, but all I could look at was her boobs because she's jumping, was just looking at her boobs, jiggling around. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's not about boobs at all.
It's not.
About
But
her
she
vagina.
should maybe vagina.
And then she held up this pink thing, and I was like, I thought it was like a sex toy. And I was like, what is happening? How is this on my feed? I couldn't stop watching it. Anyways, it's what are they called?
Kegel balls.
Kegel balls. And she didn't like
Yes.
old ones, and she found these new ones, and they were amazing. And then it looked like it was attached. I couldn't even get through the whole thing without sending it to you. It was attached to like an app on her phone. So every time she would do Kegel, we're all doing Kegels now. That's what always happens.
Yeah, totally. Ew, they make me feel sick.
It was like projecting this thing, this app to like react to her doing Kegels. I was very interested. I was like kind of
I'm
unaware.
shocked you have not heard of Kegel balls.
I have like the yoni egg. Didn't Gwyneth Paltrow have one? It's like a jade egg or something. You stick up your hoo-ha and you like
Try and hold it in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. But maybe that sounds like something. I mean, she made a candle that smells like vagina, so it tracks. No, so you stick them up there, and you have to use your inner core muscles to keep them in there. And I don't know if you have this problem yet, and I would be interested to see if any of this is hormonally based. But I now, if I have to pee, and it's actually very funny because brushing my teeth makes me have to pee. So weird. But I actually cannot hold it in. And it's not like when I have to pee a lot. It's just like, say I pee a little bit, go to the bathroom, and then maybe, I don't know, I didn't empty my bladder all the way, or I get the sensation I have to pee because I'm brushing my teeth or what have you. Unless I like cross my legs and bend over and bear down and squeeze as hard as I can, I pee my pants. And not a lot, but enough that like I would have to change my underwear and possibly change my pants. And so these Kegel balls are supposed to like obviously tighten. You're supposed to do Kegels. I never do them because they make me feel sick to my stomach. I don't know why when I really like do them properly, but I can guarantee that my pelvic floor is not very strong. And again, I wonder if this is hormonally based because I only had one baby naturally. The other two were sections. And I know it's the pressure and right, I totally get that part. But like my youngest is 8. So why all of a sudden now?
Have you used a Kegel or a ball exercise thing? Have you put one up there?
No, but I will try one. I will try. I'm always afraid though, like what happens if you can't get it out?
No,
I think you're actually supposed to put 2 in. Oh, okay. And then what I was going to tell you the last time we were talking is this was like a fad. I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago. And there was these classes that you could take and you had to wear a skirt, obviously no underwear. You and your besties off to class and you suck this ball up you, or yeah, I think it was a ball. And then it had this string and you attached it to a
Wait.
Gatorade bottle or a weight or,
Oh,
and I think you like, so,
you see my
now
face right
I never went to any of these classes. So I could be making this part up, but I feel like you like swung it,
Oh, for sure you did.
right? Like you had to like keep it in there.
You were doing triple sow cows with that thing
I
in there.
was doing sumo squats.
Oh,
But yeah, like, and that's how, interestingly enough, I don't think that class lasted very
I
long.
think that went by.
I
I,
really quickly.
I, I,
But
again, another thing that we don't ever talk about is, yeah, your pelvic floor. Like, I remember when
mhm.
I had my babies, I had a midwife, and my midwife was like, because my bedroom was upstairs, she was like, you are not to leave this room and go down those stairs for the next, it was like 5 days. Like, I thought it was egregious. It was like a very long time. And maybe she said that because she knew I would break the rules and go earlier. But she's like, I want you to be able to jump on a trampoline with your kids when you're older and not pee your pants.
Oh, have you jumped on the
No, I
trampoline
haven't
since
tested
having
it.
kids?
Well, we were
It
just at
is.
a squirrel a trampoline place, and I'm like, I'm not getting up. I feel like everything's just gonna fall right out.
It really does feel like that. It feels like your whole uterus
Yeah.
is bouncing
Oh
inside
god.
of you. It is a horrible feeling, not to mention the whole like pressure of everything else on your body just being weighed down into this. It, I can't imagine trampoline being very healthy for children.
I
Like,
think when you're little, everything's like a noodle. It's fine, but
well,
I
yeah,
have
but
fear of trampolines and trying to do a cartwheel at my age. Like something will get
oh,
hurt.
I can pull off a mean cartwheel,
Okay, prove it.
but I will. I will show you that and push-ups, my party tricks.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Um, but yeah, I think again, hormonally, your body just changes. It shifts, it moves, does it become denser? I feel like it does. Feels
Denser?
like it does. Denser? Is that even a word? More
No,
dense.
maybe, but I don't know if that's the
Like
right.
think about it. Like,
Dense
I
would
mean,
be like
obviously, like
solid.
yeah.
I feel less solid the older I get.
Oh, I feel more like ugh,
Like that'd be like maybe
packed, dense.
okay. You can see where you're going with
I
that.
don't think that's the right word. And obviously you just gain more weight.
Yeah,
Maybe it's more water weight, or I don't know.
yeah.
It's
I
just
don't
not
know.
the same. Even like from 10 years ago, it'd be interesting to see statistically on average the changes a woman's body goes through from the ages of 30 to 40.
Oh, huge, huge,
Huge.
huge.
But I
I
would like to like see like a scale because
I
in
feel like
my
the
brain
average
it's
age is
catastrophic.
it's catastrophic. That's the correct word, the correct use of that word.
Yeah.
I really do think like it's funny on TikTok you see girls in their 20s doing their skincare and these things and I'm like, you're 20 something. And like it's fine that you're 20 something and you have
20,
beautiful skin.
16. My
You know what I mean?
8-year-old daughter.
I just mean like they'll be like, I look like this because of this one cleanser I use. I'm like, no, you look like that because you're 20, you're well rested, and probably way
Exactly.
more hydrated than
You
even
have
our
no
age was.
like stress like we have.
Well, they have their own stress in their own world, what they think is important. But I just mean like,
No, I get that, but
but it is there. I think there are key milestones in your life that are. I don't know how many times I've heard women say like, it's like I just woke up and my skin was different, my hair was different, everything was different, and I
do
just know.
you feel that way? I mean, maybe this isn't a fair question for you because you had to go through chemo, but I didn't feel that until this year
Yeah,
at
I don't.
40.
I still feel beautiful. No, but I'm like fearful that you're like, it's coming. It's coming.
Coming,
Like you wonder
coming.
how much of it you can prevent, how like what's preventable and what just is like sayonara. It is the act of aging that we all are like, yeah, I'll be great to age. And then you start aging and you're like, WTF, I didn't mean like this.
Yes. And,
You know?
but herein lies why we're doing this because I think, you know, obviously we want to to hone in more on the hormonal side of it, but no one really talks about aging because it's like we do everything as women to not age and to stay looking young.
Yeah.
And so like I went and got my hair done the other day and I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm thinning right here. What is that from? Why am I,
Yeah.
and like you look at your mums and your grandmoms and whatever, and you're like, oh my God, where's all your hair? And it's starting to happen to me already.
Yeah. And I don't think, I mean, hormones for sure, nobody's like, they don't talk about it. Aging, they do, but they don't talk about it like it's good to age, right? Everything that gets shoved down our throat is look how great she looks at her age. And it's like Jennifer Lopez or Jennifer Aniston, and they've spent the same amount that we bought our house for
Right.
on their face to prevent them from aging. Why are we celebrating women who have done everything in their power to not age?
They have all the resources in the
They have
world to
all the
use.
resources in the
And
world.
to be fair, I feel at this point with social media and this, that, and the other thing, the filters that they use and
Mm.
on TV, on obviously photos, you know, I've seen celebrities in person before and I'm like, oh, okay. It almost makes you feel a little bit better about yourself because you're just like, oh my God, like you're beautiful, but
You're
you look
normal.
more real
Yeah.
than what I had seen on TV.
My biggest stance with all of it really is like, I don't care what you want to do. Live your life.
Mhm.
Just be transparent
Authentic.
about it. Just like
We
talk.
really shifted on this talk.
Yeah.
We went from Kegel balls to talking about
But that's what I mean, that's always what happens. Because I also just saw
totally.
Pamela Anderson. This is current news. She's partnered with a vegan skincare line. Like I think she's like a co-owner, maybe. Just came
Okay.
up. And she's right. She's been in the news because she is hitting the
Hasn't
red
been
carpet
wearing
without any
without
makeup on.
makeup. How
And
do you feel about that?
it's like anything. There's a pendulum that has to swing, right? Like
Totally.
I know when we're like, I do the no makeup thing and I love it. I'm like, well, I think makeup is fun. It's, like she's
Yeah.
still wearing fashionable clothes. She's still like, she still gets her hair colored. Like we still
Yeah.
all do the things. Where do you draw the line, or who gets to dictate what the line is? However, it's swung so far that people are using filters and all the injectables and all the things to pretend
Yeah.
that they naturally look this way, that when we see a real raw woman, we are shocked. So it has to
Right.
swing back so that so hopefully we can be somewhere in the middle, which we probably never will be. But yeah,
No.
she just put out this beautiful campaign. She's at her property in Victoria, is it? And it's called Sonzi Skin.
Yeah.
And I mean, but that's just it. It's like now she'll have a bunch of people around her who want the opposite of the Kardashian effect and a product to kind of push behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The real marketer in my brain goes, maybe this has been her plan all along, right? But
Right.
I hope not. And I don't think it is, because I truly think that's what she is. And I'd rather be positive about it and be great, like happy for her that she's got this like redemption like coming back, right? Going through everything she went through of her sex tape being released, and then years later, movies being made about her without any consent from her.
Yeah.
And then finally, like she's actually the one on the high road that is like crushing it.
Did you watch her documentary?
I watched not hers. Watched part of the one with what was her face? The show. It was like
Oh.
I didn't even finish it because it
And
felt.
she didn't know about that.
I think she maybe knew, but she wasn't on board. Like she didn't talk to them at all about it being made. Where I don't remember what his name is.
Tommy Lee
He
Jones.
doesn't
No, that's the different actor. Tommy
he
Lee. Just Tommy Lee, not Tommy Lee Jones.
he was like a part of it, gave input on it, and so
Interesting.
I
I
mean,
saw her. I encourage you to watch her documentary. It made me like her a lot more. Yeah.
and that's just it. Is like, even if part of it has been like a PR move to promote this new skin line, right? It's like, who cares?
Totally.
I
Like
think
she
that's naturally
deserves
who
it.
she is.
Everything
And
she did with Playboy, like she didn't like she rarely got the money for it.
which
I
is
think
just
it's how she explained it. Yeah, like it's all through it was all through Hef, and obviously there's a lot coming out about him and what it was like to be a Playboy bunny and one of his girlfriends and yada, yada, yada. It doesn't sound like it's as glamorous as they made it seem, which obviously never is. But yeah, I think kudos to her. The
Yeah.
no makeup for me thing is a little like, okay, it's a little, we get it.
Like I said, you got to make a statement, right? Like if she came out with natural glam, like would it be quite the same statement that it is? Probably not. So, I mean, I think it's the conversation around aging for women because that is like menopause. It's part of it, all of it.
Totally. Yeah.
And we don't talk about it and we pretend, that.
Why do you think? I guess it was just anything that privately happened with a woman. Like when you think about it, the dad wasn't even allowed in the room when a mom was having a baby, and obviously women didn't have a ton of rights. And I'm finding it fascinating how long it's taken us as women to be quite established now that it's still kind of this faux pas of like, shh, oh, maybe I'm going through menopause. Shh. I had a miscarriage. Shh. We're still not at a place where this is really like, and it's getting there, I think. But I don't think it's for women in our age. I think it's getting there for women that are 50, 60 years old. I don't think it's there for women that are 30 and 40 years old. And it goes to the point of like, why aren't 30-year-old women getting breast screens?
Yeah. I think it's super nuanced. I bet there's somebody out there with like a psychology or sociology or some sort of history degree that would have some really cool insight on historic.
We'll find them.
We're gonna find you. An opinion on historically how women were seen, not heard.
Right.
But in like the 70s, when everybody's burning their bras, it was like this big push to women's rights. But now I almost feel like, again, the pendulum swung too far. And it's like, don't talk about your period because it's a sign of weakness. And maybe you won't get promotion. And it's this idea that women can do whatever men can do. And now we're going to go down a whole other rabbit hole if we go this way, because it's the conversation of women can do what men can do. So that almost, don't complain about your period, right?
Totally.
One of the boys now, or, women are not having babies as early as they did because they want to advance in their careers.
Women aren't taking mat leaves. Dads are taking paternity leaves.
Or
because they don't want to lose their position at work.
Lose their job. So I think it's like nuanced on both ends of we're in a man's world where we weren't allowed to say anything. And you didn't talk about your personal life with your friends or your neighbors. And now we're on like the flip of it where it got to a point where it was like,
we're still in a man's world and we're just trying to compete with them.
Yeah. We're trying to be the men and we don't want to show any signs of weakness.
Right.
Anything that could be used against us. And I think then, we're coming into a head again where it's not benefiting anybody when you look at it like that. Yeah. I don't know. It's all very interesting.
It is. And of course,
to your point though, right? Like the 30-year-olds and younger is like, what are we going to teach your daughters about? What are they going to say? How are they going to feel?
Yeah. And I do believe that the generations coming up are going to be, I'm worried about them for where our world is at. But I think in terms of body awareness, self-awareness, health, I do think that that's made such a bigger push.
Yeah.
We know more,
more. And you vote with your dollars. People are just not okay with big corp screwing us over anymore because of things like the internet and social media, double-edged sword. There's bad things, but then also the ability for information dissemination, right? I learned from a TikTok that we are now testing blood and period products.
Right.
I don't know if I would have ever come across that article before or learned, take the bad with the good, but women are now able to start their own companies where they make period panties because they are demanding better solutions for themselves. And I just think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well,
if it's going to take Kegel exercises to take the next level, I don't know if I could test that out. That will be on you.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I don't know. Will I? I don't
know. I'm 40 and I've had 3 kids. I'm not sure this is going to help my self-esteem at all.
Maybe it could be your next party trick.
That's a little intrusive.
Absolutely not. Well,
Well,
okay.
I don't really feel like we touched much about hormones, but we're just trying to stay current.
We'll put, are you gonna link all the videos that I
Yeah.
talked about today that I can remember where they are below so you can take a peek at them?
Yeah.
And we'll be back with another random slew of information about your vagina.
You're welcome.
We should do a vagina count, how many times we say that word per episode.
I don't know if we said it that much this episode.
Or hormones, maybe.
Hormones. That's a good one.
Okay.
We're going to
We have
try and tie everything into the hormones, but sometimes we get off
it all
topic.
does. It all goes back to it.
Totally does. We
Okay.
should also actually tell everybody each day what our Stardust app says to us.
Oh, we should start posting that. Okay. I'm not joking. It is so bang on. Maybe we can get some sort of Stardust just sponsor us, okay?
Did you just lose me?
Yeah, I can't see anymore, but that's okay.
Oh, here, I'll tell you what mine said today.
Right.
Mine said, my original, like, so how we said when you get a like little day,
Yeah.
little nudge, and it said that my estrogen levels are low. So expect some tummy issues. Be prepared to fart is what that one said. And this one says higher progesterone is slowing down in your digestion, allowing your body to absorb more nutrients. Constipation is possible, but not inevitable. Cop a prune. Great.
Mine says period might be lightening up a little on day 2. Celebrate the small wins. And then it says Cherokees believed a person could use their menstrual blood to destroy enemies. Just saying. Deploy your estrogen powers wisely today. It's hilarious. And it also tracks the this is not a sponsored.
No, we just love this app.
I tell everybody about it. They also do the phases of the moon, which I love. And if you do the paid version, so very much, you can track your symptoms, which was life changing for me. Like it's just starting to see this, and like it would just be like will be like super low energy today, or like you might be spiraling today, and I'm like, oh, it's not me.
You're
It's my
right.
It's not me. It's my hormones. It's not my fault. So, anyways, highly recommend.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay,
All right.
well, you have a wonderful day. Chat to you later.